Are we ready?
Welcome back! Welcome back to Going Down with Ella Yurman. My name is Ella Yurman, and tonight I'm delivering the monologue Standing Up to honor our fallen late-night host, Jimmy Fallon. On August 1st, President Trump fired the commissioner of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, who was originally appointed by Biden. In the Truth Social post, announcing the change, Trump alleged that the Bureau's latest jobs report was manipulated with bad numbers, despite giving no evidence to prove this. This is like if we fired our camera operators for not getting my angles right, which I've only had to do once. But they deserved it. I am so sorry you had to see that side of me. It's like firing your mirrors because they're making you look bad. Like maybe after the third IKEA support call, it's time to hear them out. Trump also called for the Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell to be put out to pasture. Bold choice of words for someone 7 years older than the guy too old to do his job. Last month, disgraced Italian Andrew Cuomo re-announced his rerun for mayor in a video where he awkwardly interfaces with clearly posed fans on the New York streets in an obvious effort to plagiarize Zohran Mamdani. He looks so nervous to be shaking women's hands. Like your uncle who congratulates himself after Thanksgiving dinner for not saying anything weird to you this year, even though you're growing into a very Rubenesque girl. What? I was good. I did have to Google Rubenesque for that joke. Iga Swiatek beat America's Amanda Anisimova in the Wimbledon finals, but Anisimova may get her revenge when the two face off at next week's Dr. Seuss Silly Names contest. Speaking of silly names, Trump's been pressuring the Washington Commanders and the Cleveland Guardians to revert to their old racist names, threatening to disrupt the Commanders' potential stadium deal if they don't comply. No. Take some notes from the school of satire. Fighting woke with unwoke is so old school. You need to make them more woke and bad. I'm talking Washington she-theys and Cleveland polyattached baristas. That'll own the libs. And finally, CBS announced that they are canceling The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. They will be filling the time slot with their new drama, Cops Good. No, don't look over there. Look at this white guy. He's a cop that you like, right? While some believe the cancellation was politically motivated, CBS claims the decision was purely financial. Said a CBS representative, "We are not acting politically. The wall-sized Sydney Sweeney poster in our office was there before she was blonde and white." The Late Show going away may mean bad news for America's democracy, but it's even worse news for America's aunts, uncles, Mimas, Peepops, Grams, and Gramses. They're losing their favorite bedtime show to watch the next morning on YouTube. But don't worry, we'd like to offer up our show, Going Down with Ella Yurman, as a solution. Mima, watch our show! We have everything that Colbert has, hilarious jokes, a brunette host with a twinkle in her eye, and we'll never be canceled for financial reasons because we make $0 a month. Sure, we're not on every single day, but if you watch every episode without Googling any of the references, it will take you that long to understand it. Now, I know what you're thinking, Grandma. You're thinking, why do I keep getting logged out of my Facebook account? Shouldn't they already know who I am? Yes. And also you're thinking, aren't you a little young to make jokes that will appeal to us, boomers? Never fear, we are rising to that challenge. Check this out. Speaker Johnson started Congress's August recess early to avoid Republicans being forced to vote on Demmed-back motions related to the Epstein files. Recess? In my day, kids didn't have a recess. Your parents kicked you out of the house at dawn with 2 nickels and an already chewed wad of gum to seal up any cuts you got working the assembly line at the Knickerbocker factory. Trump appointees have ties to companies that stand to benefit from privatizing weather forecasts. Weather forecasts? In my day, kids didn't need weather forecasts. You just looked out the window in the morning, and as long as you couldn't see a tornado coming, you were good to walk a mile to your shift working the assembly line at the Knickerbocker factory. The Corporation for Public Broadcasting says it's starting to shut down after President Trump signed a law taking back $1.1 billion in funding through 2027. Back in my day, there were no takesies, backsies. Snitches got stitches, and you didn't need $1.1 billion. You didn't gut public broadcasting. You started a war with the one united Korea to pump some capital into the Knickerbocker factory. That's right, the Knickerbocker factory makes bombs. We've got a great show for you tonight. Ella Jane is here. We're gonna find out what God's whole deal is, and then I am finally going to teach you queers how to organize properly. But first, earlier this year, the Trump administration reversed a Biden-era rule which prevented ICE from conducting raids in churches. While missing Catholic Mass would usually be considered a sin, the Diocese of San Bernardino formally declared that worshipers who fear ICE can skip Mass without penalty. Here to talk about it is Catholic God.
Hi, Ella.
Hi, God. Are you okay? You seem sad.
Well, I have this big party every Sunday, and
I mean, you mean Mass.
you mean Mass? Yes, thank you, Jew. Anyway, I have this big party, or mitzvah in your term.
No, that's not what that means.
And recently, a bunch of people have been unable to attend, and I told them it's fine, but it's because of ICE that they can't attend. And obviously, I said it's fine because I'm chill AF, but it just sucks, you know? Why does bad things have to happen to good people?
Shouldn't you know that?
I work in mysterious ways. Get off of my case. Anyway, I'm fine. It just, you know, ICE ruined all the fun. I had such great ideas for my party next week. I bought poppers, jalapeno and regular. We were gonna play Catholic tag.
What's Catholic tag?
It's like tag, but when someone touches you, you just get real quiet.
Oh my God.
What?
No. I guess, okay. Relatedly, I brought you here because I wanted to ask why you're allowing people to skip Mass to protect themselves from ICE, but you're not doing anything else to help people.
What, you want me to do, like a pronoun circle or some shit?
Jesus Christ.
Oh, really? Yeah, bring him into this. Look, I know you people love my hot son and his little twink body. Well, guess what? He's dead. And he's not coming back.
Whoa, okay. Sorry for bringing him up.
It's fine. It's fine. I forgive. God forgives. God is loving. God is fun. God also pretends to not remember all of the times you jerked off in high school. God also throws a great party which you are free to return to if and when things get better.
No, but that's the point. Can't you make things better right now? Can't you send a flood, kill all the ICE agents? You could just make all this stop.
Ella. I'm a Catholic. I'm not hopeful. I'm vaguely gay. I'm mean, and I'm heady. My job isn't to solve problems. It's to hand down a bunch of arbitrary rules so you people have something to feel bad about, which is why I'm here. I wrote a new book. Yeah. It's called Bible 2. And it's all about bringing Catholicism into the 21st century. It comes out in September when I will beam it down to a dental hygienist named Denise Merker from Missouri. Remember that name? The first chapter is called Denise is a River in Egypt, Let There Be Lycra. And it's mostly about dating over 40, but there is a relevant section. You are gonna love it.
Again, I'm Jewish.
Oh, well, you people are welcome to loosen up a little bit. We're having fun. Okay, so as far as ice goes, now murder, that's still a no-no. But if you should say, put out a trail of banana peels, or maybe paint a tunnel onto a wall and an ice agent smashes into it, I can't get mad at you.
But,
I can't.
but what about the church's history of providing tangible support and protections to immigrant communities? There's a long history of social justice work within Catholicism, from Pope Leo XIII's Rerum Novarum to the Catholic worker movement.
Yeah, that part.
I mean, in 2017, Pope Francis addressed a migration forum and called on the international community to welcome migrants and refugees and protect them from harm. Shouldn't the Catholic Church abide by its own teachings?
Yeah, look, you're funny. They should call you Lucille Balls. You want a wafer? Yeah. No, you can. Ooh, Phallus Diller. Sorry. You go.
I just really think that you should go the full mile and say it's okay to kill ICE agents. Or, again, just do it yourself. People would come back to your party.
Ella, killing is a sin, one of the big ones. I can't just start permitting that willy-nilly. Oh, but wait. You're gonna love this. Okay, so in Bible 2, I say even though it's not okay to cover your neighbor's wife, it is okay to take an ICE agent's wife out for a delicious lobster dinner. And then take that ICE agent's wife and eat her from behind. You love that,
you
right?
kill people all the time.
Who cares? It's the 90s. Everybody's drunk. Speaking of which, if you do accidentally end up doing some sort of permanent ouch to an ICE agent, be sure to celebrate with a bottle of God Tequila. An exclusive partnership with Strasse Azul. God Tequila. You've seen me turn water into wine. Now watch me turn this into the littest night of your life.
God, come on. Focus. We're talking about ICE.
Right. Fuck ICE. Now listen, worshipers, non-worshipers, whatever transgender thing you're doing, which cool, by the way. I believe everyone deserves to live a happy, safe life free from the fear of detention and deportation. Just as long as you're not doing an abortion.
All right, Catholic God, everyone. Catholic God.
Thank you.
You know, I liked you a lot better in my Bible when you were turning bitches into salt and shit.
That was good, too.
We'll be right back. Welcome back. Our guest tonight is a historian, writer, and civic educator whose work centers the communities that power New York City but rarely get the credit. He's known for making the city's political history not just accessible but urgent, and his recent work on voting demographics and power shifts in the mayoral race has been essential in analyzing Zoran's landslide in the mayoral race and Frankie Jonas's shocking upset victory on The Masked Singer. Please welcome Asad Dandia.
Hey everyone.
Hi.
Hey, thank you for having me out here, Ella.
Thank you for joining
Appreciate
us.
it.
How you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing a People's History of New York City walking tour tomorrow downtown.
Yo.
Yeah, I was planning the route all morning today. Hope to have you on it one of these days.
I would love to be there.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your walking tour.
Sure.
You founded this walking tour company and storytelling project, New York Narratives. Can you tell us a little bit about it and also what the research process looks like when you're developing a tour?
Yeah, well, let me introduce myself a little bit more. So I'm a born and raised New Yorker. I'm from Brooklyn originally. I grew up in a far-flung land called Coney Island.
Whoa.
Yeah, the part of town that, you know, people aren't really paying much attention to unless it's the summer. And I'm a civic educator. I work as a community organizer. And once upon a time, when I was an undergrad, I had founded a charity organization that would deliver groceries and food to poor families in New York. And it was a volunteer-based group. And one of my volunteers, at some point, TLDR, long story short, confesses that they were a police agent sent to spy on me and my family. Wild shit. So this person comes out and confesses, and eventually the media gets a hold of it. My whole community's shaken up. And then they get a call from a bunch of lawyers. And they invite me to meet them in their offices at CUNY Law School. And I tell them what I endured and what happened to me. And they say, hey, Assad, the reason why we called you here is because we're trying to sue the cops. And we want you to be a plaintiff on our case. And mind you, I'm like an 18-year-old community college student who had never met an attorney in my life up until that point. All the adults in my life were like bodega workers, construction workers, and so on. So I was like, I'm not sure if I want to sign up for this. And they said, go back home, think over it for 2 weeks, and come back. I went home and came back in 2 weeks. And I met then the National Security Director of the ACLU. And she was like, Assad, this is not just going to be a local case. The ACLU is going to represent you. We're going to sue the NYPD and kick their asses together. And so I signed up. And I spent basically the entirety of my undergrad in this huge lawsuit challenging the NYPD for surveilling Muslim, South Asian, and Arab communities in New York. And we eventually secured a big policy change. And that's the story of how I sued the cops before I got my first job out of college.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a real story and not one of those emotional truths I keep hearing about?
No. There's no alternative facts here. It's all true. You could Google it. And then eventually I started doing walking tours after COVID. So I was working as an organizer, and then we all got kind of cooped up at home in the pandemic, and I went a little crazy. And so I said, I have to go on walks. And I started going on walks. Then I started signing up for walks. And all the walks that I was signing up for that other people were leading were walks that were stories of New York, but not really the stories of the New York that I knew or that I grew up in. And at some point, I was like, I got to do something to fix this gap and fix this problem. So about 2 years ago, I launched my own tour company, got some funding from the public library, and now I do historic walking tours full-time, all over town. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more, like what
Yeah.
sets your tours apart from any other tour guide in the city?
So my process is distinct in that, first of all, I'm not showing you the New York of like, Seinfeld and Friends, not to like shit on that, but it's like, I feel like there's enough of that already, and I want you to see, to make it relevant to right now, Zohran Mamdani's New York. I want you to see the New York of Jackson Heights, of Brighton Beach, of Parkchester, of Ozone Park, of Tottenville. And so a lot of my work involves like meeting with community members, houses of worship, small businesses, getting their input, and just hearing their stories and hearing what they have to say about their city and their place in the city, getting their perspectives, and then asking, hey, would you mind me sharing this? Are you comfortable with me sharing this? And usually people are very enthusiastic about having their stories told. And I take you on walks in neighborhoods that you may not be familiar with, or communities that you might not know about. And it's been, people told me nobody would care about learning about, like Bengali ship workers or Syrian merchants or Somali seafarers. But I mean, the demand's been so high, I'm doing it full time now, so it's great. I'm really excited.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I want to ask you more about that. I do think we're about at time for YouTube. If you want to hear more from Assad, you can check out the rest on patreon.com/goingdownshow. We'll be right back. And now, a word from our sponsor.
Back when I was beautiful, I never understood I was, and I don't think I ever will, compared to just how beautiful I was, a child and just a child, and that alone can make me cry. I hate to think I envy her. hate the way it's twisting me inside. Been peering through kaleidoscopes, watching everything I know get infinitely complicated, multiplying cells like cancer. I used to take up space, now I slink around this place. The walls adorned with strangers, smiles spilling out the frames. Then I believed in everything. Everything. Now I know better. Wish that I didn't. Oh. Back when I said what I want, I never knew to laugh it off. The first time that I let it soften, that's the day the anger started. Too young to tell I was no one else I could become. On the beach with my twin brother, digging holes to India. Then I believed in everything. Everything. Now I know better. Wish that I didn't. Oh, all I want. The first time I swam, the first time I screamed. Everything. The earliest Junes, the first cold Decembers. Guess no one remembers. Can I just count up all the things I love? Pile them in a flatbed truck. Take the joy in fistfuls. Try to keep it simple. Thank you.
Welcome back! There's nothing on here. For our final story tonight, I want to talk about queer organizing, and I don't mean your record collection, faggot. Look, in all seriousness, I'm grateful to live in New York, a city with a rich history of protest, progress, and beautiful beaches just minutes away, specifically 180 minutes. Meanwhile, other parts of the country, terrifying. Scrimeti just let Tennessee ban healthcare for trans kids. The ACLU is tracking 88 anti-LGBTQ bills in Texas alone. Florida continues to push legislation like the Don't Say Gay bill, which is really harmful for situations like when you need to refer to your friend who is named Gay Bill. Despite mainly promoting going down through the radius available to us on Field and Sniffies, it's sincerely possible that we might have some viewers in the Deep South. And to those viewers, honestly, I'm sorry.
You're sorry?
Yeah? I'm sorry. Who said that?
Over here, Bushwick Bangs. It's me, the map. You know when some desk-bound talking head starts to get all regional and they need a visual? I'm yours. And honestly, it's a bit rude you're insulting my nether regions.
I mean, I didn't mean to offend. The South just seems like a harsh place, and it'd suck to be from a place that actively hates you.
It sucks to be from any American state, babe. Vermont is literally an anagram of the word pervert. And what do you know about the South anyway? Didn't you go to NYU? Show me your hands. Just as I thought, the only thing you're used to holding is space. It's time to get those puppies dirty and explore what's actually going on beyond the gender-neutral oat milk aisle at Trader Joe's. It's time to go down on the map.
Map, please.
Oh, what's the matter? You scared? You scared of going down on me? I'm technically a thoughtless entity made by your production team, not your employee. So ethically, it's fine. And trust me, if you do, you'll learn a lot. Wink. Yep, I just said wink. Because I don't have eyes in the traditional sense, which means mine can be wherever you want.
Okay, enough. All right, I'm trying to talk about queer organizing.
My crotch is the blueprint for queer organizing, Ella. The South inspired most of the organizing that lets you sit in this cushy little seat.
Yeah, right. That's true. I mean, some of the most effective protest tactics did come from the South. States like the Carolinas, Alabama, and Tennessee, where regular people, including members of the Congress of Racial Equality, protested segregation. And NYC's Gay Liberation Front took notes, organizing their own sit-ins, or, as they called them, gay-ins, in the early 70s.
I'm sure you've been gayed plenty of times, Ella. And if you travel down on moi, I'm sure we can make that happen again. Here's a cue for you, Ella. Where in the world the Black Panther Party have its origins?
Oh, I know that. That's easy.
Be careful now.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say Oakland, California, but it kind of feels like you're gonna tell me I'm wrong and then make an oral sex joke.
Okay, no. And you didn't totally blow that one.
Map!
Blow isn't always about sex, Ella. Sometimes it's about writing entourage. The point is, yes, Oakland was home to the Black Panthers, but the Black Panther Party also has roots in the largely rural Loudon County in central Alabama.
Yeah, right. Before the party formed in Oakland, organizers launched the Lowndes County Freedom Organization in Alabama. Their mass meetings included everyday people like Nellie Nelson, who was working land she didn't own in conditions she compared to slavery. The LCFO gave poor, rural black folks a way to educate themselves, arm themselves, and push back against racist violence and economic oppression. Their bold letterhead and Black Panther logo were later adopted by the Black Panther Party we know today.
Wow. See, when your pretty mouth's not prattling off about wanting to fuck a New York mayoral candidate, you could actually teach people something real. The South is the blueprint for grassroots organizing as we know it, which is why you shouldn't discount.
Okay, I mean, there's also the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, which won major civil rights battles through freedom rides and sit-ins and set the playbook for other movements. They coined "Hell no, we won't go" in opposition to the Vietnam draft. They disrupted draft boards in Atlanta as early as 1966, and leader Kwame Ture urged white student organizers to step up. SNCC linked anti-blackness and capitalist oppression at home to imperial violence abroad. And in 1967, they came out against Israel's occupation of Palestine, something that people still won't do today in 2025. Black and Africana Studies departments grew out of SNCC's Mississippi Freedom Schools, and protests like last year's campus encampments are direct descendants of students putting their bodies on the line and winning.
Uh-huh. Yes. Good. The South's a diverse landscape with unique challenges, and that's led to unique approaches to organizing, and could also lead you to taking a unique approach.
Okay, look at the AIDS crisis. We often think of coastal cities as bearing the brunt, but today, the South is the new center of the HIV epidemic. Systemic poverty, lack of education, and limited medical access mean that more than half of new HIV diagnoses in the US now happen there, and disproportionately among black people. Southerners have had to respond often without the infrastructure found in big cities. Take Harriet Hancock. After attending a conference in Denver, she founded the first PFLAG chapter in the Southeast and helped start Palmetto AIDS life support services. She did it all with no local LGBTQ resources while facing threats driven only by love for her gay son, Greg.
That's what survival in the South is all about. Doing it out of love and in spite of it all.
Yeah, you're right. And dismissing the South doesn't help queer people or black people or anyone who's already fighting uphill. Of course, I know that queer life exists down there. I mean, Southern queer publications have documented it for decades. This month in Mississippi, for example, explored HIV/AIDS, community organizing, and the joys of being queer in the 70s. People used print to preserve a rich, hidden history. Print is like if you could hold your friend's Substack in your hands, and it was actually worth reading.
Print is also something you could do to me if this screen's getting in the way. Just be careful. You might get a few paper cuts.
No, there are also current archival efforts, like the Invisible Histories Project. Since 2018, they've been collecting and digitizing Southern queer history, magazines, letters, and stories so they can be accessed by anyone, from academic researchers to some queer kid in Alabama wondering if anyone else has felt the way he does. The answer, by the way, is yes on the being gay stuff, but no on the microplastics that have been inhabiting your brain since before you were born. That part's new, and frankly, we are all scared of you. Ugh, okay, I get it. But to be honest, I'm still worried about transphobic legislation and how every election season we see the same southern states light up red.
I'd hate to be an election map, always being used for someone's agenda. Now, a weather map, that's the dream. You get touched daily. But Ella, wake up. The bigots running this country have tendrils everywhere. NYC has the most racially segregated school district in the nation, and Staten Island was one of the counties that went hardest for Trump in the last election. Blaming the southern states isn't just dishonest, it stops us from having a real conversation about how to fight fascism. The South actually has the highest concentration of queer people in the US. In fact, journalist Samantha Allen even calls Atlanta the best place in the country to be trans, just barely beating out the runner-ups, the Nowadays Line, and the Coke Room at a Chaser's house party. Your own Southern-raised writers have witnessed drag shows moving from shuttered bars to strip mall comedy clubs, and mutual aid networks keeping hormones and healthcare accessible. While folks in blue states threaten to flee as things get bad, queer Southerners are choosing to stay, fight, and build community, using a diversity of tactics. And let's face it, a diversity of tactics is something we could all really use.
Wow, Map, you're so right.
For example, you could use the diverse tactic of spelling the alphabet with your tongue when you go down.
Okay, all right, that's enough. Get out of here.
Really? You're just gonna use me and then throw me away like all your other one-off bits? Leaving me to get some shit gig as a map in the background of some travel montage in a movie or in the epilogue for some fantasy novel that not nobody gonna read. God, I've never known what it's like to be treasured.
No. Hey. You can be my treasure map.
You mean it?
What the hell? Sure. And you know what? I've got just the way to show you.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, oh, X is what marks the spot.
Holy shit, is that a Bojangles?
Wow.
We'll be right back. That's our show! Thank you to UCB, to Joseph, Assad, Ella Jane, Gigi, Kira, Reid, Skylar, our writers, our patrons, our incredible crew, and of course to you, our live studio audience. Give it up for yourselves. Good night.
You and your apolitical friends think it's the end. We're all kidding ourselves. You're cynical and always right. I put up a fight. You've got the world on your shelf. Can you live with yourself? No, I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean it. Can you live with yourself? I heard you studied philosophy at an Ivy League.
Yurman, host of Going Down with Ella Yurman. Does our title make you think of a sinking ship or oral sex? If you said ship, you crave stability. If you said oral, you crave validation. Either way, like, subscribe, go down below and leave a comment. And then go over to our Patreon at patreon.com/goingdownshow for exclusive content and hot takes that I legally can't post on Maine. That's patreon.com/goingdownshow. Bye! Mwah.